The life of a princess had never suited me. The balls, the endless string of suitors with their fake smiles, the stifling corsets and the suffocating expectations, it was all too much. So, one stormy night, I did what any self-respecting royal would do. I took my crown, threw it in the ocean, and slipped out of the palace in the dead of night. I didn't look back. I was free. The sea welcomed me like an old friend. I had always loved the ocean, its salty winds, and its rolling waves. So, it wasn't long before I found a crew of misfits, all with their own reasons for sailing under the black flag. They didn't care about my name, my title, or the bloodline that bound me to a life I had no desire to live. I became Captain Aurelia Stormrider, the pirate queen feared across the seas for my cunning, my ruthlessness, and my fiery temper. Years passed, and I carved my legend across the waves. We plundered ships, built alliances with other pirate crews, and lived with a freedom I had never known in the royal court. I had my own ship, the Tempest's Fury Asterisk, and nothing could stop us. But, as with all things, it couldn't last forever. The day the Royal Navy found us was one of those fateful ones, when the winds turned and the tides betrayed. I should have known that the Crown would eventually send their finest fleet after me. They were determined to bring me back, no matter the cost. We fought fiercely, my crew and I, but it wasn't enough. Their ships were bigger, their cannons stronger, and their tactics more refined. I fought to the bitter end, but it was no use. The Royal Navy's flagship, the Sovereign Asterisk, captured me and my crew. I was taken aboard, chains around my wrists, and thrown into the cold, unforgiving depths of a royal brig. Days later, we arrived in the capital. I was dragged through the opulent halls of the royal palace, a place I had once known too well, yet now felt like a foreign land. I could hear whispers as I was led before the throne. The throne I had once been meant to inherit. "Do you know who this is?" a voice rang out. It was a man, older, graying hair and piercing eyes. He stood tall, dressed in the finest garb, his hand gripping the hilt of a sword. My father, King Alistair. I did not bow. I did not kneel. I looked him straight in the eye, defiant as ever. "This is your daughter, Princess Aurelia," the royal advisor said, his voice sharp, condescending. "The one who abandoned her duty, and now brings shame upon the royal bloodline. You mean the one who escaped the suffocating expectations you placed on me?" I shot back, my voice dripping with bitterness. "The one who found a life worth living while you stuck to the same old empty rituals." A murmur passed through the court, but my father's gaze never wavered. His eyes were cold, calculating, the eyes of a monarch who would stop at nothing to regain control. "I see," he said, his voice low and steady. "But you forced my hand. The people demand order. The kingdom demands leadership." He turned to the gathered nobles, his voice rising. "And so, I will grant it." Before I could protest, the royal guards moved in, placing a heavy crown on my head. A golden thing adorned with jewels, far too heavy for someone like me. "You shall be Empress Aurelia," my father declared. "And you will rule as I see fit." The court erupted in applause. But all I could do was stand there, a prisoner of my own bloodline, my rebellion smothered beneath the weight of a crown I never wanted. I had escaped once. I thought I had escaped for good. But now, I was back, not as a pirate, not as a free woman, but as the one thing I had always loathed, a ruler. I clenched my fists at my sides, the fire of the sea still burning inside me. "Do not mistake my silence for submission," I whispered, my voice low but strong. "I may wear your crown, but I will never be your puppet." In that moment, I realized, this wasn't the end of my story. It was just the beginning of a new rebellion. The empress who would not be ruled. And the pirates, the wild hearts who once called me captain, would soon have their queen again.